Good evening, wherever you are. I want to greet you, all my brothers and sisters, as we meet this evening. I want to share a few words with you, and the topic is on fear. Fear is what I want to talk about. Maybe I'll post the speech. I'm going to add the speech after it goes on live. Fear. What is fear? And what is courage? So I'm going to just do a short speech today. I'm not going to talk for a couple of hours. Those who are going to not hear this will share with their family and friends later. Today I made a post that is very harsh. Remember, I'm an artist. So as an artist, you speak your mind, you speak your head. And I want to salute you guys. And I say this stands for whatever God has put in your hearts to do. Whatever that is, the calling, what you've been called to do. If you're called to serve as a refugee, you go and serve as a refugee. If you're called to be a doctor so you can heal the people, then that's a calling. If you've been called that you want to work as a charity, you've been called. Other people are called to be soldiers. So what have you been called? Whatever your call is here. And this is what you want to create. What is it that you want to bring in this world? What is that thing you want to create? What is that idea that you're planning? That audacious goal that could take 30 years, 10 years, that you can be dedicated. That's what the mind is for. And this is your power to deliver. So I'm going to do this and I salute you. So this is the short thing I wrote today. There are three kinds of fear. The fear that paralyzes you so you cannot move. The fear that makes you run. And the fear that makes you stand and fight. Fear can save you or it can destroy you. But when fear meets courage, hope is born and creativity begins to flourish. As for me, I receive threats every day, threats of kidnapping and threats for speaking my truth. Now I want to remind you that I'm still a soldier. And the difference is that instead of guns, I carry a pen and a paper. So I'm just speaking my word using pen and paper. That's the difference. When you're an activist, you speak your mind. And the government hate activists, And so you can hear they go and kidnap people. Right now I'm in Italy. Anywhere I want to go, I will move freely. I'm not just going to live in fear because somebody's going to be sent to try to take me to Juba. That's called coward. That's history. So a soldier goes to war knowing they may kill or be killed. And still they rise the next day, ready to serve again. They place their life in the hands of a greater good for the sake of everyone. Now I want to talk about the three types of fears there are three types of fear. And I want to share one of the fear that I encountered, the fear that paralyzed you. I was when we used to be in Kakwa in Panyido refugee camp. We were little kids. There's a song they used to sing, le 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 nyana juana shamran, le 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 nyana juana shamlan. So there's an animal called nyana juan, and that nyana juan, seriously, we create the call it we'll call it Galwamungwel, child of Galwamungwel. So basically, those who left from Benteo walk all the way to Dinkaland and walk away to wherever. There was so much fear, seriously, even I remember as we were walking on that journey. So the guy used to tell us, the one who eats a lot, the fattest one among you, is the one Nyana Juan will take. But according to my research of all the kids that Nyana Juan has eaten, was not the fat one. Nyana Juan always picked the weak one because he know, okay, which one can I grab quickly and run? So that's one of the intelligence I remember. Second thing, because I used to get scared to sleep on the side. So when we're sleeping at night, I crawl, I find myself in the middle of the kids. So now the guys on the duty would say, okay, people are going to sleep in turns. So, Emmanuel, today you sleep on the side. The next day, the other one in the side. I said, no, there's no need. Because he told us, Nyana Juan will pick the one in the middle and run with it. But according to my research and view, I have never seen Nyana Juan picking the one in the middle. He grabbed the first one he noticed and take the leg and run to the forest with it. So those are the fears there. So Nyana Juan really terrified us. So one day, I'm one of those kids who like to move around. I like to break the rules. So by 6 to 7 p.m., the sun would have set up in Fenyido, and every kid would have gone to their place. But Nyana Juan used to come. Like Nyana Juan, like kids disappear. I've never seen Nyana Juan, but I've seen a kid cry at night being run. And you just hear them crying and something's running fast, and then the sound is gone. So that's when Nyana Juan became so popular with Red Amer. So one evening as we were sleeping in this, it wasn't, just people just finished dinner. I decided to go to the next compound. And I heard everybody scream, Nyana Juan! So the boys that were with me sprint and all ran. What happened to me, my muscle freeze. My legs refused to run. So when I talk about fear that paralyzes you, my legs stopped because it was all of a sudden. Some kids screamed so loud that Nyana Juan is here. And so my leg froze. And my hand froze. So I just fell down and collapsed. But consciously, I know I'm alive. So in my head, I said, Lord God, is this it? This is the day Nyana Juan is going to eat me. I'm really done. Eh? How? How can Nyana Juan? How can I be Nyana Juan? So I thought I'm finished. It's like I'm just saying, okay, God, if this is it, if this how Nyana Juan is going to eat me, fine. But if I can only stay alive, I want to do great things in this world. Leg that was paralyzed, my foot, it came back to life. Imagine, get what happened. I went so fast, the speed that I was able to run, I was able to cut through the fence and found myself on the other side. And the kids on the other side started screaming, Nyana Juan! Nyana Juan! So as they're screaming Nyana Juan, I'm running for them, and they think I am Nyana Juan because it's at night. I broke the fence. I just survived being eaten Nyana Juan. So now because they heard the fence broken, those fences made out of grass, and I went through it high speed, the kids were running. So I'm just like, I'm showing you there are 3 types of fears. Has the fear ever paralyzed you? Or has the fear ever made you run? Because you can see at this point, I was able to run. But has fear ever made you fight? Yeah. So I want to share about the importance of fear. Fear can teach us so many things. Some of us can run away for fear of their life into a different country, and they become refugees, and there you fear save your life. Even Jesus himself became a refugee because of fear when there was a time that children will be killed by the pharaohs or by the, by the Italian leader that time. So Jesus had to be hidden in other countries. It's okay to run. When you're not strong, you run to a safety and prepare to come. So it's part of the nature. So what is the importance of fear? Now, the biggest problem to the Nuer people is they don't have fear. And fear is a dangerous thing. They move with courage. The advantage of fear, when you have courage with fear, it allows your mind to think different. There's a way in our culture that do not fight a coward. Because a coward would say, if I slap this person, hey, and if he block it and punch me back, what is going to happen? So the coward will find a way and just start thinking again, hey man, what about if I hire someone to go and slap this person for me? What would happen? Then the coward say, hey, what about if that person one day get beaten and asked to tell him who sent you to slap? So now that's why you find a coward will find the best way. When a coward slaps you, you know, the coward want to destroy you completely. You know, this is saying like, there was a man in our village. He was sleeping with his in his house. No, he was with his kid and this guy was a coward. So his wife was cooking inside the house with kids, and they heard a lion has come. And because he had a lion has come, he started running inside, but the lion was outside. So the wife started to put on the fire and said, the lion is inside the room. So the guy jumped out of the room. And as he was jumping out of the room, he met with the lion straightforward. And he gave the lion a slap. They're called a coward slap. He slapped the lion on his face. One slap, the lion fainted. But this guy's hand cracked all the way from here to there. And this is called the slap of a coward. So basically, when you have a leader that is a coward, they become so paranoid. And in the process, they may end up destroying everything they have. For example, President Kiir, God has blessed him. God has trusted him and give him everything, absolute power. But because of that absolute power, he keep on picking people in the government and pushing them down. He came up with a strategy because of the fear of Nuer people and say, we have to disarm any Nuer person. And you remember the war in Juba began because the Nuer had to be disarmed. Nuer were living happily in Juba, there was no problem. But there was a fear Nuer are going to take over the government. So they started disarming the Nuer. So now the war broke out. When peace came about, it's all about disarmament. And the fear is, oh, Machar is a threat. You know, until Machar came to Juba with nothing, and Machar was no army. The fear, even though Machar has not gone, the fear of Kiir not being able to settle down. He put Machar in jail, thinking we put Machar in jail, yes, everything done. What about the other thing? He said the Nuer has to be disarmed. And then he sent a force, Agwelek and many other people, to Nasser to disarm Nuer. Now the fear of Kiir is Nuer. He just want to, if he had a nuclear bomb, he would drop it and all the Nuer done. That's why Kiir wasted all the resources. He made the country so bankrupt that he had to hire 27 rebel groups. He had to go and hire, pay Uganda to come and protect him. Where Rebecca Nyandeng pleaded to Museveni, you are the father of this nation. Why would you take all your resources and listen to Kiir to just go and kill one tribe? So because of the fear, you know, and now the fear can be devil policemen. So we are all suffering in South Sudan because our leader is in fear, because the seat can be taken by any person. Instead, if he was someone, if he'd have combined it with courage, then his mind would have become creative and found different ways to challenge each and every person that want to take the seat. He would have made a constitution that protect everybody. The members of a parliament would be voted in. He would have given freedom to each and every state where every citizen vote himself. President Kiir now would have been living in his palace without fear. Even, you know, I was even one day thinking of naming myself President Kiir, because there's one, name him Kiir because I used to look up to him as a kid. But now, he destroyed our country. And so we're talking about fear. What fear can do. So I'm talking to the Nuer people. The biggest problem right now, we have to bring fear in our life. And because we didn't bring fear in our lives to think ahead and be paranoid, that's why we've been fooled. All along, we fought with SPLA, with our brothers, with our Dinka brothers, together, that we're going to have a country. But behind the scene, they were driven by fear and greed, that they want to create a country without Nuer and enjoy all the resources by themselves, every important part in their tech. Even though nobody was bothered about it, they were left to eat as much as they can. Still, they were not satisfied. And that's why they created war, you know? And they fooled us. Our kindness, our patience, our ability to say eat, they've been taking that for granted. And now the country is at war. Every machinery, everything possible that we have to destroy Nuer. Even Oling that was fighting the government, his brothers and sisters, families, are still in refugee camp, the Shuluk people, because of Kir. Now he's been sent to Nuer Nan to disarm the Nuer. The Kir has got an upper position right now to do what it can to try to dismantle Nuer, because Nuer never knew that this government has a plan like this. But the coolest thing is, Nuer will reorganize. Now they have fear that each and every child will be destroyed, every village, every person. So now they're going to get their courage and creativity, and things will happen. And one day, all will come back, and Kir will be out of power. I want to share with you one of the greatest fears that launched United States into the best possible stage where it is. So Russia at one time launched something called Spaniard into space. And the Spaniards rotated 90 days in the space. And the American heard the Russians launch Spaniard. Nobody, the president of the United States could not sleep. Every person said, look guys, these are the things we are going to lose. We are the superpower and we are going to lose so many things. Russia is in space. And Russia will shoot us from the space and destroy everything. So instead of Americans getting paralyzed, their fear combined with courage moved them to action. So what did they do? They called the best scientists and say, guys, right now, Russia are in space. Anytime, any day from now, they will be shooting us from the sky and will be done. So even United States started kidnapping scientists from different places, paying great scientists from different places to come into their country. The greatest asset for United States are the smartest foreigners that they brought within. So the scientists went at work and started thinking. In that process, that's when internet was born. Like the internet we're using was born in the process of the United States discovering something to protect them. That's when the GPS system was born. The GPS system was created because of fear, so that they could be able to track, and it was created not for us to travel in our cars. It was created to guide the missile that can be dropped. So many beautiful things came about because of this. That's when nuclear bomb was invented. There was so many things flying to the space. So fear with courage can create multiple things. It can give different direction. So now, fear of poverty, because you are afraid that poverty could destroy you, with courage, instead of getting paralyzed, that's why you can be motivated to go to school, acquire a degree, and do something. So right now, fear doesn't mean I'm not afraid, but I have courage. And the courage comes because of the calling, because of what I see being done to my kind, to my own. 2013, President Kir killed my brothers and sisters, destroyed my homes. 60 people from my family died, and I was quiet about it. We didn't do anything. And the killing of our kinds has continued because it's something, it's an agenda that this system has planned. Now, people will say, oh, because you're talking about Kir, then you're generalizing Dinka. No, we just have a terrible president, a bad president. And this bad president, because the silence of all the Dinka people doing nothing about it, we will assume you're united in this. Have not seen yet one Dinka person, anyone condemning all the facts that are being done. We know the reality. Which Dinka are in the refugees camp right now? No, most of the Nuer are in the Unimi state. Since 2013, because they've been terrorized because of door-to-door killing. 30,000 people killed in Juba. You know? Now you have mentally, emotionally destroyed a set of generations of people that can be so amazing. Because you know what refugee camp does? It cripples you. No, it cripples you. So now some of you are going to say, oh, Jal, you're this. And I say, look, I will speak my mind. SPLA fought for the freedom for all so we could speak our mind. So we can be free, just like in the village. But now, the president we have now has become a divider. He divides people. If someone slaps you, someone beats you, who's going to protect you? Your family. Who are going to protect me? How many times was I beaten in Juba? Nobody stand up. Nobody spoke. Yeah. Beaten 3 times in my own country when I'm trying to do peace and do good things. I was actually even beaten for distributing aid or providing people to start their own businesses. And somebody said, oh, Emmanuel is doing this as presidential campaign. No, I've been doing that since I was 7, since I was 8. It's a seed planted in me from my grandfather. It's in us. When you have something, you see someone was nothing, you give. And it's a calling. It's not done because I want anything in return. I call it anything I give to somebody. It's God will. It's not mine. You give it then forget you're just a messenger and it's put in your hand. So this is a message I want to share with you all today. And peace is you.